Hey everybody, we're back in PoE. This is Unusual MaW. I started playing the game off recording. I was going to try to get to the end and not record. Then I decided it's probably not a great idea because maybe some people are going to watch this series and then we're going to miss 3 acts. So I did a couple quests and then worked out some gear and some crafting. And then decided it's probably best that we record everything. Just to keep it all on here. I think what I'll do is once we hit max level, we'll end this playlist and start a new playlist where we're just map farming with this character, trying to reach the level cap and finish all the maps out. I crafted a new chest armor. It's kind of lame. It's probably worse than the one we had, except it's got way more sockets. Crafted this from a common. It's kind of a weird... here, I'll show you guys how the crafting works. Normally you have to go to the crafting bench. If you bought in a stash tab, you can craft right from your stash. But you take a common item, you put it in there, put an orb of transmutation on there. That upgrades it to a magic item. And then you use an orb of augmentation that adds a second affix on it. Or a second modifier. I'm not sure if it's a prefix or a suffix. I haven't quite got that figured out yet. Then if it's not the two that you want, if it's not the correct tier, which you can look at by holding Alt. We got tier 1 and tier 2, so I went with it. They're not great traits, but they're okay. If they're not the ones you want, you can always reforge them with this thing. Then once you get to the ones you want, or close to, you throw one of these regal orbs on there, and that'll change it into a rare, which adds a modifier. I think in here we got regenerate energy shield per second. Just tier 8. It's pretty bad. From there you would do some other stuff. I'm not really sure. I haven't gone too much into it. I think you use one of these pieces of currency, which we don't have any of. I guess it's kind of rare. So that's just kind of a quick look at how crafting works. We mostly did it because we wanted the sockets, just so we could... On a rock under my foot. Little rock. Yeah, we did it mostly just to get more sockets in here so we could keep our zombies kind of juiced up. I dropped Raging Spirit. Just kind of sad that was my spam button, but this is just more walk around and kill stuff. I think I swapped some of the gear around. It's mostly the same as what it was before outside of the chest piece and with extra brutality support and minion damage support on our Ray Zombie. And then I think I added Meat Shield, which we weren't running. That's a big part of the build, I guess. For the Animate Guardian, because we want the Animate Guardian to taunt and tank to keep our other minions alive. And just the brief bit of time that I've been running here, it does actually help keep the minions alive. I'll show you guys here. We're kind of finishing a back date here. Going downtown. Oh, we're learning a little bit. We had to use some crafting stuff to get these gems the right colors. I mean, this is not the ideal setup, but it's a setup. At least has a little bit more thought than what we were doing before. What am I doing? Going back upstairs. Upstairs, downstairs. So now this is more how the build's supposed to work. You run in here, you wither step. I'm saying that we don't have any zombies up. Zombies are the big... I mean, that's the damage of the build. For coin. Well... Just blow them all up, I guess. Oh, we got 4 zombies? That's okay. Kill these ones and get some zombies. Got specters. Yeah, we got everything. I'm moving a little bit slower than I was with Raging Spirits. Not really because I have to, but just trying to be a little bit more controlled than we were the last episode. We're kind of all over the place there. I'm still dying a little bit. More than I'd like to. I don't know if I've died this when I sat down and recorded. Well, I didn't record when I was just doing quest. Well, that obliterated us there. So, yeah, we're still dying. Still a little bit squishy. I don't know what that's about. I think we need more strength probably, and resistances. I went back and watched the build guide again. I mean, that's one thing we're not necessarily doing is stacking strength. I mean, we are stacking it, but if you look, this doesn't have any strength on it. This doesn't have any strength on it. No strength on that. No strength on this. No strength on that. I mean, we could definitely do with adding some strength to the build or a gear set. That's one day at a time. We'll get there. Yeah, I think we're gonna start a new playlist just because I realize that this has been tagged as a hardcore series for a while, and we've been playing standard for at least 30 episodes, so it's kind of weird. If you were looking for hardcore PoE gameplay, at the start of the playlist, I think the first 12 episodes we played hardcore, and then we haven't touched it for a while. So I think we'll start a new series, just map farming, after we get through this actual campaign here. I think we go down here and grab Purity of Flesh. More tankiness. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen with the series right now. There's not a whole lot of people watching. It's not like we're really beholden to a format. We have to behold ourselves to some kind of... Well, I mean, I still like to keep a standard, even though there's not that many people watching. In case somebody sees it in the future, it's just the right thing to do anyway. Organizational stuff. I get behind on that stuff real quickly. To be honest with you guys, I didn't think it was going to be 30 episodes before we got back to hardcore. I think between playing this and Doom, I've got Doom, Ultraviolence, and a Nightmare run going. The Nightmare run's finally caught up. I think I talked about this. Nightmare run's caught up with the Ultraviolence run. So I think after episode 10 on that series, it should be all Nightmare run. But juggling that and everything else, it's yeah, kind of falling behind on the hardcore playthrough, which we do still want to do, and we're gonna do it. There's a lot of stuff to do. A lot of stuff to do in this game. You can see the zombies work, though. I mean, if you just let them walk into the... And the carrion golem is doing a ton of work, too. That just obliterated everything. Our shield's kind of small. I think... When I rewatched the build, I think we're supposed to swap life for shield at some point with some skill. I don't know why that's beneficial, but I think that's something we do. This is going to be interesting. I haven't really fought a boss since... I don't have auras up. Yeah. Get our flag. Yeah, that was okay. We kind of stood there and took damage there because we were trying to get orbs up. You can see the damage is really strong in this build. I think that really comes from the helm. We're supposed to go... That's right. I know what we're doing. This is the end of the act here. We go and fight Linares and Solaris. And that's what triggered me to actually record this, is I think last episode I said something about we were going to be doing this, and then if I didn't record it, it's kind of weird to say that we were going to test the build against Linares and Solaris and then not show it. Seems like a strange choice, but... Well, that's why we're not going to do that. We're actually going to show it. Major reason I wanted to do it off camera is I wanna switch the playlist and the series to a new series to be a little bit less misleading. Our intention wasn't to mislead people to think that we were playing a hardcore series, because that's the intention of this series. So this series will go dormant for a while. We may even move the ones out of this series that's not a hardcore series, or move the hardcore series to a different playlist, just to keep it correct. We'll see how that goes. I think that's probably a good idea, though. There'll be a little bit of weird continuity issues in that series, but I'll just make sure that when we actually start recording for the hardcore series again, we talk about that so people know what's going on. We have all our ores up? I think we do. I did try some new key bindings while I wasn't recording, and they were okay. I think a lot of people, I kind of looked up what people found to be, we're not recurring all much, what people found to be useful, and movement speed on space is what a lot of people tended to do. To be honest with you guys, I mean, it'd probably be good for me too. I tried it out; it wasn't bad, but I don't really mind where the keys are at, just as long as I get used to where they're at. You know, so if I went to space, if I practiced with it for a few days, it would become second nature. But T is just as good too. We also bound to escape out of this with the plus key, which on my mouse is the 12th button on the mouse. I have one of those Razer Nagas with like a million buttons on the side, which is what we used to pop flasks, which I don't think is great. I kind of looked at building one of the, well, just looking into making something that was, we don't have to clear all this, but we're going to do it. It's Delirium. Something that'll press all the buttons at once, because we want to, when we flask, we want to probably hit everything. It's kind of strange how that works in this game. Is you can see our minions aren't dying here. A lot of the times, it's just best to hit all your flash buttons at once. Really no reason to hold anything back. Fluttered. Guys here on the bridge are doing a ton of damage to it. We're gonna have to double back anyway to get into the temple. Going down this far wasn't quite the best idea we've had, but did it for the lulz mostly. So this is a new recording session. It's actually the same day, but it's probably 12 hours later from the last episode. Is it that many hours? Yeah, like 8. 9 hours. Not really relevant. Okay. So all of our zombies are actually pretty healthy, and that's what the build's supposed to do. You just need to dodge stuff here. Let's give this a go. I think we died 4 times, and we suffered pretty bad here last time we came in here, you guys remember. So now we can focus more on dodging, keeping the auras up, keeping our zombies alive. I think as long as we kind of stand behind the enemy, dodge big stuff, we should actually be okay. We should be better off anyway than we were last time. Wow, I think that did one-shot us there. So we're going to have to do something different in hardcore. And maybe we could look into what... Maybe we should have been running Sand Stance. What does Sand Stance do? Enemies made by the skill, okay. Take 11% less damage from attacks from enemies that aren't nearby on Sand Stance. Yeah, so maybe Sand Stance is the stance for bosses. Or you just want to stand in the back. We could try that too. We won't try that on hardcore though. We'll try it on one of these other bosses, maybe on like Java or something. So we don't get one shot like that. I guess we'll pick the Senate quest. No, we talked to yeah, so that's going to end Act 8. It was pretty quick. 10 minutes there at the end of the episode. That's probably 20 minutes worth of gameplay. And it was actually probably like 2 hours I was playing before I... Oh, now we need to get our actual weapon on. Yeah, we're still taking a lot of damage. Actually, maybe Sand Stance is the way to go. 11%. You know what? Let's try it. Do I have the right gear on? Yeah. We take less damage from enemies that are far away. Is that what it said? I just read it and I can't even remember. We'll look after we get out of here. For a little bit. Loose crate. We don't want. We kind of do, but it's alright. It's okay if we don't. Karen Golem steady. So, still not sure if the minions have to be in the aura. They probably do. So I guess it's still fine that we can kind of hit them with the aura as we're going through, and some minions can do some extra damage. But we try to keep our distance for sand stance. Hurts pretty bad. See, that's where being able to hit all 5 pots at once is probably good. I probably only hit 3 of them. I'm gonna get a blood offering. What's it called? Flesh offering. Withering Step, actually a really good skill. Like right there, I was blocked in. I could have blinked through normally, but who knows if that's far enough. Let's let this drop off here. Okay, that was pretty good. And a fossil, I have no idea what that phase run. We still got a lot to learn, and maybe we'll spend some more time trying to learn that stuff on camera. Like to phase through these guys. Yeah, because I think a lot of the times I work on that stuff kind of right outside of the recording, and then it's probably confusing about what I just did or what I'm doing. And if you're following along, it might be difficult to follow along. I don't show everything. I typically don't play this game that much unless I'm recording. Not so much because I don't enjoy the game and I just want to record it. It's more like if I'm playing the game, I might as well be recording. This is the whole intent of the series anyway. Or the channel. I mean, I want to be entertaining to people. I'm not saying that, but there's no reason for me to not record anything that I'm doing. As far as gaming goes. Just easier. Maybe that winds up being resulting in boring content. I don't always have something to say or entertain people about, but my philosophy there is just record anyway. I don't know if it's wrong. The gameplay stands for itself, I think. Maybe not.
Be careful.
Yeah, I'm just spamming through all this stuff. We're in a good spot. Aim, I guess. Let's... Quest Giver. Suni. So, like, after we finish Act 10 here, this is only Act 9, but when we finish Act 10, dash open. We're going to want to make sure that we have all the 2190 mount recovered. So this is actually better. Shock. Yeah, this is probably just a better flask there. I lost my train of thought there. Oh, I want to see if I need to go back and get finish quests that I missed, optional quests like that. I should have identified that. It's fine. See, there's optional quests that I missed that are going to give us skill points. I don't know how entertaining that is to watch, or maybe I have gotten everything. It becomes painfully obvious. I'm kind of in that gray area where I don't know if that's something I should be recording or. And again, we just talked about my philosophy. My philosophy is if I'm playing the game, I might as well be recording. I don't know if that makes great YouTube content, but it seems efficient for me. We're not overly concerned about how successful the channel is, although it would be nice if it was successful. It's more about just, you know, utilizing the platform to play games and have like a recording session, if anybody's interested, kind of thing. That's the philosophy anyway. We wanted to equip this, yeah. Gets better. Has Labyrinth Enchant. It's a currency. We'll just leave it in there now, though.
Yes.
Let's see. Do you guys have gems? No. I feel like the gems don't open up for the vendors until you've reached a certain point in the act. Like if I go back to the previous act, I noticed that. Take a look here. We're not racing. This series is going to end soon, and the new series will start. Too terribly. And if we go here, Clarissa should be selling gems, but I was kind of filling out the build. It didn't look like not selling anything.
See you. Yes.
I did notice that these vendors do have Orbs of Regret and Orbs of Scouring. Sure. Maybe worth buying? I don't know. Not terribly worried about it, though. You know, that'll become apparent as we keep playing. Yes. Can't remember how to go in this area. Act 9. I know for Act 5, it's to the left. This way. Ascent. It's interesting when I logged on and did a few of the quests. There was a lot of where's our flag at? Not on our back. We got a lot of unique items. Shield support. For whatever reason. Game just gave us a ton. It was nice. I think the boots, we picked up a pair of boots that were actually decent. Added item up. The item. Adds minion +1 to minion skill gems. Which is a good trait, and I think the only reason we didn't equip them is the sockets were kind of funny and I didn't really want to mess with it. Although we may do it here. These boots are really nice, the ones that we have on when you're not getting hit, but as soon as you start getting hit, less good. Less good for sure. Because the whole benefit is while you're at full life or full shield. Yeah, full energy, which is kind of hard to do. The other ones I think had 15% or 10%, maybe half the movement speed, but it's always up. I have to go back and look at it and see why we didn't equip it. I think it did have to do with the socket color. Oh no, now I remember what it was. It was the dexterity on the boots that we have now. We need, otherwise we can't equip like half of our gear. We're gonna need to pick up more dex, and I think we're about to pick up some dex in a passive skill. Gallantry. So it's coming. Full of wisdom. Wanted to pick it up, I just fumbled. We're still running sand stance. Maybe we just run blood for now. Seem to be dying a little bit slower there than probably should have been. I'll have to go back and watch the build. I'm sure I'm going to watch that build guide several more times. It's actually a really good video, to be honest with you. you haven't checked it out, the links should be in the description. It's really well edited and really well narrated as well. High quality content, HQC. Term I just made up. You guys are welcome to use it. Yeah, we're just casually going through here. I said we were going to be level 80 by the time we finished, and then I backed away from that. 68 right now, which is... Yeah, we're probably on pace to be right about where we were with the other character. Maybe a little bit higher. Not going to be much, though. Let's see. We're going to pick up Fury of Flesh. 8% increase maximum life, 8% to chaos resistance, plus 10. Chaos resistance, that's one of those things I don't think comes very naturally on gear, and I think a lot of... I'm just kind of talking out of my ass here, but I don't think a lot of gear offers chaos resistance. Maybe that's why that trait's picked up in this build. Golem. Golem's a little bit squishy. He might be supposed to be running life support. Yeah. Where's the beef? I did kind of check into how to stream on YouTube a little bit. We'll try that here one of these days, in the not so distant future. I've kind of set up the editing software to do it, and I think the only drawback to it really is the final video that's recorded is going to wind up being probably worse than if we had just recorded it, because we don't have great upload speed, so we're somewhat limited to the quality we can get. I mean, our upload speed's not terrible. It's enough to do the job, but I did notice I was watching our latest recordings, and they're a little bit grainy. I'm not quite sure how to fix that. If it's even that bad. It might just be this game too. I like the motion blur or something. I don't think it is. I think it's the recording software. Or YouTube, maybe. Either way, I don't think it's a huge deal. Quality of the videos that we actually record, though, are... Well, actually, that's how I know it's probably YouTube. Because the final product that I have, it's on my hard drive. Actual video that was recorded. That quality is really high. It's not the game, it's not the recording software, it's whatever's happening on YouTube. Some kind of compression that they do. We could probably force our way out of that, but for now I think it's okay. What they give us is good. And maybe it's some other kind of format we need to give it to YouTube in order for them to utilize. I don't know. It's something we'll figure out over the year. If you guys didn't know, I'm relatively new to recording videos. Gameplay videos and just recording videos in general. YouTube. I've been using YouTube for much like the rest of the world. Well over a decade now. But I haven't ever actually uploaded anything until I think it's 2 months now doing this. But it's all been a learning experience for me, and it's been good. It's actually, if you're hesitant about doing it, I think it's going to be like overly difficult process. It's really not. Their interface is really good, and it's free, and there's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not. It's really not that high. You can watch a YouTube video, you can figure it out. And there's a lot of good resources out there to help get you started. I link some of the tools that I use in my video descriptions now. Those are all free. And those have a slight learning curve too, but you can figure it out. Not that hard. It's not that difficult. They're designed to help people get involved with as little barrier as possible. So the streaming thing is probably the next thing to tackle, figure out how that works, and because ultimately I think that's the best way to do this kind of approach in 2020. Streaming is just a better way to do things. And then you make YouTube videos off the back of the stream. People that maybe don't want to watch it live, but I mean, I still watch a lot of YouTube video that's not live content. Mostly because some of well, I don't know. I mean, I have no problem watching either one. There's some people that I used to watch, and I still do watch, that used to make YouTube content exclusively. And their videos were highly edited, highly polished, and they were really entertaining. Not that they're not entertaining anymore, but there's a lot more focus on the chat, interacting with the chat, that sometimes they wind up not even playing the game, really. It's just kind of annoying. I think chat interaction leads to a better viewing experience. It gives the creator something to riff off of, and usually the gameplay winds up being better too because the chat tends to know a lot about the game, a lot more than the person that's streaming the content. Is this the event thing over here? So yeah, I have nothing really against it, and ultimately, I think it winds up winds up for a better viewing experience overall for everybody involved. Unless the person that's streaming the content, and if they're not making a YouTube video out of it, it's fine. But when you watch the YouTube video, and the whole entire video is just chat interaction, there's no gameplay. That's the quickest way to get me out of there. Stuff I don't really want to see, because then you're just it's like a chat club, and less about actual game. Which I think is one of the biggest things that actually turns me off about Twitch. I like the Twitch platform, and I'll probably wind up streaming over there. I mean, it's a fantastic platform. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to. One of the greatest things that happen to gamers. That's just up there in top 5 things, probably. Maybe top. I have nothing against it. It's just sometimes you watch some streamers and focus so much on the chat that no gameplay actually gets done. If that's what those people want, that's great. But then, some of the people that I enjoyed that used to make static content now make it's content where it's dynamic and it takes away from the gameplay a little bit. I tend to get a little bit salty about that. As long as there's some gameplay going on. If that's what you like, if that's what you want to watch, is somebody just read out donations for 20 minutes and say subscriber names. This event's a little bit different than whatever. That's cool. I mean, you're totally allowed to like that kind of stuff. And there's a time and a place for that too. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy that kind of thing. But if it's somebody you watch for gameplay and then they switch to doing that, it's not really entertaining at that point. June, I guess that was how that worked. Remember that. That's kind of my beef with Twitch, and it's not so much with Twitch; it's about streamer. Nothing to do with Twitch. Is June following us? What's happening here? Yeah, she is. What's going on? I don't know. It can be great. Actually, it can. Well, back to the streamer thing. It can be really good if done correctly. And there's a lot of streamers that do it correctly. But it can be really bad, too. It just depends. It just depends. Because ultimately, anybody that's watching these types of videos, I think, I hope anyway, is watching for gameplay, and you know the person has to be entertaining, but it can't just unless that's what you want to find. I don't know. We don't have our banner on. Do not actually don't have any orders on either. How long that's been going on? Just kind of riffing about streaming here. Like I think I told you guys maybe in the last episode or 2 episodes ago where I watched recording of a stream that Mick Gordon did where he was interacting with the fans, talking about the process of making a Doom soundtrack. And that was done excellent. You know, I have no problem with that stream because he didn't actually interact with the fans until like the last 40 minutes of it. There was a good hour and a half where he just, you know, we got to learn from his expertise and get to see how he, you know, his process and, you know, really just hear his personality. You know, when it gets to be all about, and I won't name any names. I'm really talking about this for a long time, aren't I? Where it's just like, well, okay, this person donated. This person donated, and their character's just been sitting here for even 5 minutes. It's just too long. And I understand that those people want to be thankful because those people are supporting those people, and or even just interacting with chat in general, not just for supporting. It feels bad to me. It doesn't feel good, and it's not entertaining to watch either. Yeah, and so just to touch on that again, you know, when Mick Gordon was spending time interacting with fans, answering questions, he was very selective about what he was interacting with. It's really, I don't want to say staying on target for the topic, but yeah, that's what he was doing. You know, he was trying not to stray into a world of, well, this, you know, I don't know. To each their own. If that's what you like to watch, that's cool. But that's kind of my beef with Twitch in general. And I haven't really watched the platform in a long time, so that may have changed dramatically. And it wasn't too bad when I watched it. Really, it was. I guess my bigger complaint is the YouTubers that post YouTube videos of streams. There's large swaths of like, just I would say no content. I mean, you can just edit it out, or I don't know what you do. I'm not sure how good the YouTube platform is for streaming. Like I said, I think my friend and I did it. I don't think. I mean, we did like a test stream, or he did, and I was on Discord with him. And the platform seems fine. I mean, it's almost exactly the same as Twitch. I think the only major difference there is there's a bigger community over at Twitch. They're a little bit spicy over there at Twitch. I know they do a good job at, well, they try to clean stuff up and make sure everything's, you know, gamer friendly. But YouTube's a little bit more stringent on that kind of stuff. Which, you know, some people don't like, so they go. I think that's why Twitch is probably the more successful brand. It's very gamer centric, right? I think something happened with YouTube and gamer. There you go. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm talking about. Like I said, I've only been using the platform as a creator for about 2 months. You gotta take everything I say with a grain of salt. We're just filling airtime here. Yeah. Look at this video go by pretty quickly, though. This is where not having Raging Spirit is kind of annoying. We don't have our flag on us. Flag. I think I'm misclicking E sometimes. It's a weird. That's supposed to be my bone offering. I have to get used to that binding being there. Oh, that's right. We were making something to get back into the quote-unquote belly of the beast. Kind of remember. Heavy waffling. Not waffling. We're not waffling. A lot of jumping around on topics. that always supposed to do? Or just double check? Yeah, I think it was. I don't mind some of this stuff. Let's head back. Double check and make sure we cleared that out. Yeah, I don't know why this is important. Just pick whatever will fit in our inventory, I guess.
Good luck.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a unique, right? Rare, unique. Rare, unique. I think I'm getting that screwed up again. Not overly important nomenclature that we use. Could pick up our dex tier and swap out these boots, so we can pick up the other. Well, we lose the red socket. I had the hiccups there.
Good luck.
My mic's kind of set up to filter out some of the lower noise in, so you guys shouldn't be hearing some of that stuff. I feel like I have to point it out just in case you do. Apologize for it. Well, I don't think I have to. I mean, I'm a human being, a gassy human being, really. What was I even trying to put the gem in? The currency, and you know what would be really nice if they did this? Like if I have currency and I do that, and I don't have the currency tab open, but I own. Let's not talk about it, guys. Let's not talk about it. It's just a typo there. You know it's fault. What was I saying? I have no idea what I was saying. Minefield support. It's for hunters, I guess. 20 strength, 22 strength and intellect. You know, this one's actually not bad. We might put this one on. Accuracy rating, evasion, 25 resist. The fire resist is pretty good. Take that off. Is that gonna? Yeah. We're really tight on the dex here. If we take a look at our build, maybe pick up a dex point. Okay. Like all the way down. Double check on Pee-wee builds. I sound like Marge Simpson a little bit. You know what? I don't think we do pick up more dex. I think that's it. So we're gonna have to do something to kind of keep our dex in line. That's gonna be, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's go back over here and do this quest. I can't remember what it was. We'll do it though. Take a look at the episode time. It's got about 20 minutes left. Where's up? No, we see him. I think when we get to the end of the top side of the tree that we're going now, we can increase the. We're playing kind of slow right now. That's alright though. We can increase the circumference of our. I kind of got caught there. We're slow. Probably could have blinked. So the other thing, I think I said that these two share a cooldown, Flame Dash and Withering Step, but if you activate Withering Step, you can Flame Dash right away. New character column. And yeah, I think at the end of this build, what was I saying? At the end of this top side, we get Unholy Fire, Fearsome Force. Ooh. We get this skill here, which is actually where we're going to go. Our next points down here. 10% increased effect of. No, it's just 10% increased effect. I thought it actually increased the area. I feel like there is some kind of skill we pick up along the way. I thought I was looking at that increases the circumference of it. Do we need to pick up something before we go over there? Go. Need what? The what? No Karen Gall. I think we have to do the quest for the couple. I can't remember what. He wants to go get some artifact and then they open up. There's something like that. The Boiling Lake. Sounds. Nothing on top. Put a bucket and a mop. This way. This way. This way. We'll see how the build pans out. I think it's going to be better than what we were doing. We're going to have to get tankier. We'll probably have to buy some gear. Regal orbs. Or is it Regal orbs or Chaos orbs? We've only got 5 of those right now. So I have to farm up a little bit. Oh, which is fine. I think it was an item that we needed that we just happened to cross there. Where are you and why won't you die? Lock the blacksmith.
Go on.
Stuff.
You're no stranger to murder. Just make it quick.
We'll execute. I think we were interrogating them all last time. I have to watch a guide on that. I have no idea what. Or, you know, I think we could probably just read. So. Microtransactions, customer support, the Abyss, the Pantheon. I'm sure it's in there. The help section's actually really good. I didn't read them all. I read like the first 8 or something. Actually, kind of pathetic, but they were really informative and actually taught me a lot about the game. I'm sure the rest are equally good. We assume, anyway. We got rewarded for opening up the help menu. That's not how that works. That's how that works, though. Was that a Chaos Orb? I think it was. I'm gonna go back and pick that up. I was like, looks like we have our ores up. Withering Step. Chromatic Orb. Well, want that a little bit less than Chaos Orb. Okay. Karen Golem, please. Karen Golem actually does a lot of damage. I didn't realize it was throwing those spikes out a couple episodes ago. I thought we were getting hit by that, to be honest with you guys. I can't actually see the timer for the episode here. Check here once we a little bit more. I think we've died more this playthrough than we did on the last character. Just kind of a bummer considering we spent all that time at the build. Or leveling up a new character to play a new build. Why is this highlighted? No idea. I like the fact that our Guardian stays alive with the meat shield supported. That's a good linkage there. It makes sense. I still haven't figured out, and I have to finish watching the build guide again. I think you're actually supposed to equip unique items onto that Guardian. I don't know how that's going to work. We can't even do it with a rare one. Pick up Sovereignty. Double check that.
It was Sim's creation that brought about Ray class.
Get a little bit greedy here. If we get punished for it, probably will. I think it's really our flask. We're not hitting our flask, or we weren't anyway. Flask are a huge part of this game. I'm gonna constantly be using them, constantly be killing stuff. I caught on a wall there. So having the map overlay on top of our screen probably doesn't do us a whole lot of good to be able to see stuff. You know what? Let's do it. Oh, sliced up. Pop out of the Delirium now. Chaos Orbs. Check us the Chaos Orbs we want. Yeah. The only reason I really wanted to do this now was to see if the other one we missed is in the previous act or if it's in the next act. Or in the next area, rather. Because this is the one we missed on the other character. We did not do the third ascension. This is not going to be good. as soon as I saw four of them coming, I was like, oh, we're dead. I had Flame Dash up. Not really used to casting Flame Dash because I want, for me, like I'm like, oh, Withering Step, we got to cast Withering Step. That's the one you want to cast, not Flame Dash. But in all actuality, Flame Dash is probably the better skill. We should probably be using more of that. Where are we even going here? Oh, we're in trouble. This way? Here? Try not to die. Old AoE on the ground. Whatever that is, Blight. Survey says that's correct. So we haven't missed any. I don't want to do it again, I don't think. That's what we want to do. Okay. Let's check the time here, just to make sure. Yeah, I get about 7 minutes for an hour. I think one of the other nice things about the streaming content, and this is more for me and not for anybody that watches this, is I don't have to process any of the video. It's just streamed right onto the site and then gets saved, I believe. People can watch the replay of it. So it's actually, as far as the time consumption it takes to get recordings up, it's a lot more efficient for me. I assume. I mean, I haven't done it yet. Maybe it is more difficult to. I don't think so though. Probably faster. Probably faster, which is not really a reason we want to do it. Although kinda. The big concern I have about it though right now, kind of my reservation, is if let's say we stream this, right? And we've got 3 episodes that are supposed to be coming out. Coming out over the course of the next 3 days. But the recording winds up being ahead of the stream winds up being ahead of the recording. I suppose I could always. Nah, I mean, it just doesn't sound good to me. I don't think there's a good way that you could do that. You kind of have to do one or the other for a particular series. So maybe we'll take that approach. Maybe we'll keep this recorded. Although I wouldn't mind streaming this just so, people could help me out with a game. Give me some advice. That'd be good. But maybe we keep this one recorded at least till we're out of episodes and discuss that. I don't know, there's a lot of people that I know that I watch that stream on YouTube, and also tend to do a lot more video recordings. Still, like they still record videos. And they probably stream like once every 2 months, or maybe not even that. Like once every 2 months. I don't know if those are just more successful for them to just do that, or it just works better for the content that they create. That it makes more sense to just go ahead and record a video instead. Hard to say. Hard to say, to be honest with you guys. But that's why you try. You just try it out. See how it feels, see what happens. But I think the issue is going to be series continuity. And we'll be ahead on the recordings, and we'll have like a stream that's out. People can watch the playback of that's ahead of the recording. So it seems real bad. Seems like a bad idea. And people are smart; they can figure it out. They know that, okay, well, this is recorded this date, and this episode is here, and then I can. But it, I don't think you really want your users to be having to do that. I mean, it seems like a pain in the ass. Swearing's another thing I should probably talk about. I'm not somebody that swears a lot in real life. In fact, it's pretty rare. It's not really my thing. I have no problem with it. I'm not like, oh, you swear on me. That's not really how I speak. Day-to-day interactions. Not something I'm just going to push off on here. Now, if I get really upset, and I think maybe I deliberately said the word ass twice this video. It's the third time. I deliberately said it. Just so I can kind of talk about it, I guess. It wasn't really planned, but something I've been thinking about. Yeah, I don't know if people, what people's stance is on that. If that's something they don't like to hear in their videos, or really what YouTube's policies have been on it. I don't think they mind. I think advertisers mind more, but we don't have advertisers. It's not something we really want to do aggressively. It's something that's not in our personality anyway. So it's not something we're gonna do. But I hope people don't mind it to some degree, because it will happen from time to time, and I could always beep that stuff out. There's a lot of people that I watch that swear all the time. There's a lot of people I watch that don't. To me, they're just words. My parents were really strict about it growing up, that you weren't supposed to swear, and they were like a big taboo thing. That's how I was raised. But I had a friend growing up. He wasn't really a friend. He was a guy. He was kind of an interesting guy, actually. He hung out with us from time to time. Pretty rare, though, because he didn't live that far from us. He was up the road. I'll give you a little story about him here in a second after I explain his parents' philosophy. And as an adult, I kind of agree with it. It's not really the word. And again, I don't want to impose my morals on anybody. His parents allowed him to swear as much as he wanted in the house. Right? They didn't want him to do it. They made it very clear that he was not to do it to figures of authority or out in public. Which I think you wind up kind of being that way. It's the unfortunate side effect of letting your kids have free reign. I'm not saying that. But his parents' philosophy, and this is kind of what he told us, was that it was okay as long as you didn't have malicious intent in what you were saying. Like, you weren't directing it at somebody, or you weren't mad about something. It's just another tool of expression. I kind of agree with that. It's still not something that we do very often, because I don't know, there's just easier ways to express yourself that's actually more expressive than saying those words. But sometimes, for a fact, it works. Language is kind of a funny thing. And sensibilities are a funny thing. So there's things that I have sensibilities about. Swearing's not one of them. Never has been. Probably never will be. But I totally understand people that fall into that camp. Because that's the way I was raised. So, an interesting story about that guy. We're at the 1 hour mark. I'll finish this area and then we'll call it an episode. Interesting story about that guy. I had a friend that lived next door to me, and he got this wooden sword from somewhere. I don't know. I think he was like doing karate or something, some kind of martial arts, and he was starting to get into like weapons. He had a wooden sword, and it was pretty cool. I eventually convinced my parents to buy me a wooden sword at the Ren Fair. You guys not taking Karen Gomp. Ow. To buy me a wooden sword from the Ren Fair, as you do. No idea. So anyway, he was really interested in the sword. He wanted it, and my friend Brandon, I can say his name. It's not going to dox him or anything. Well, maybe it will. He had the wooden sword, and everybody kind of wanted one. They thought it was cool anyway. They go in here. Yes, this is where the boss was at. Ow. Well, that was just ridiculous, wasn't it? That's what we're gonna try with sand stands. Sands? Ow. So what he did is he told him, and he was actually lying to the kid. But he said, "See, we're just supposed to stand there." I don't know. It kind of feels kind of bad. I told him if he jumped off my porch, and my porch growing up had, it was like a two-story, like jumping off a two-story roof, or a one-story roof, I guess. It wasn't. It was high up, but not. It was only one story high. Or for a 13-year-old kid to jump off that. Yeah. So anyway, he jumps off of it because he wants the sword. God, we're playing terrible, right? Distracted by the story. He jumps off the roof. He lands on the trash can that's down below, rolls off, picks up the sword and walks home. I mean, I think he's hurting pretty bad. I didn't want us to see him cry. I mean, maybe it's not really a big deal. We weren't those kind of kids that would have made fun of him. But I'm guessing that's why he got up and left. He grabbed the sword, went home, and just left. And then the next day he walked back and had to give the sword back. His parents made him give it back. Yeah, I think he hurt himself pretty bad too. I don't think it was bad enough that my parents suffered a lawsuit because he did jump off our porch there. Yeah, he actually didn't. I don't think he really hung out with us after that. It's kind of like the last day he came over. What are we doing here? Actually, I might be done with this area. Bother really looking. Which will be good. This is the beginning of the episode here. Yeah, we did finish that up. Okay, guys, so that's going to do it for this episode. If you like the video, as usual, drop us a like. If you want to see more content from me than usual, hit that subscribe button. Till then, we'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves.